Okay. Good evening to one and all. I hope everyone of is doing well. Thanks a lot for taking your time out. So my name is Jitendra Peswani. I'm a CFA charter holder, and I work as a head faculty at FPA EduTech, where we train students on the CFA program. Right from the examination support to helping you in getting the placements. And I know a lot of you have a lot of doubts with respect to the CFA program. Is CFA course meant for you? What are some of the career opportunities if you want to make a career in the field of financial investments? I am sure a lot of you will have a lot of doubts. So that is why we got an opportunity uh, to invite Sachin Nayak sir. So the webinar is going to be taken by Sachin Nayak sir. So Sachin sir is the director of partnership and client solution at the CFA Institute. He leads the collaboration with the local societies in India and Sri Lanka, building and maintaining a deep relation with the society boards, volunteer, and staff team. Uh, uh, Sachin sir has over 15 plus years of industry experience, driving the education product and services across the financial services and information technology in India and the Southeast Asia. I'm sure it's definitely one of the golden opportunity for all of us who are present in the call to actually know more about the investment management industry, to know more about the CFA program and how do you pursue it from the Sachin Nayak itself, because I think he has been working with the CFA Institute since last 6 to 7 years. So I'm sure this is definitely a golden opportunity, and we would like to thank Sachin Nayak sir and Vivan from the CFA Institute team for accepting our invitation for you guys to get your doubts resolved with respect to the CFA program. One important thing, guys, for all the Q&A that you have, all the Q&A will be taken at the end. So initial we'll be discussing, we'll be taking the webinar, and all your Q&A will be taken in the end. So over to you, Sachin sir. Over to you. I will give you also rights to share the screen.
Thanks, Jitendra. Can you hear me clearly, loud and clear?
Yes, you're perfectly audible, sir.
Let me just pull up my screen. All right. Believe you can see it clearly, right? Just let me put it onto presentation. Okay, fine, great. Thanks, Jitendra. Thanks, everyone. And thanks, FPA, for introducing or inviting me onto this platform today evening and providing an opportunity to interact with all prospects and candidates of the CFA program. Thanks for that warm introduction, Jitendra. I think you've done quite a bit of my work to introduce myself, so I'm grateful and appreciate this opportunity. So as Jitendra has described, I will not go into my introduction as it's already covered, but I have been here for the past 7 years across multiple roles with CFA Institute as part of its team in India. And I'm happy to take your questions and clear as many doubts as possible. What we are going to do today is I do have a slide deck prepared based on my understanding of interaction with candidates over the years. What all do you like to see or understand better? This is what we broadly will run through. And if you look at that towards the end, we mentioned also there's some quiz we are going to run with you. I don't want this to be a one-way talk from my end, but I'll be eager to hear from you as well as have some engagement or interaction through a quiz with you towards the end. So for all those who stay with us for the course of the next 60 minutes, there's some exciting Q&A as well as quiz towards the end. So hang around till then. Let me begin with my first part of the presentation, investment management industry. Now, while you come to the CFA program, one of the most common questions or concerns many people will have, why should I pursue it? Of course, at the end of any kind of education or a professional qualification that we are looking at is a career, a long-term career where you want to be successful. But to identify that career, you need to better understand the industry where you will step in. To talk about investment management and where CFA Institute and CFA program are focused on, investment management is a subset of the financial services industry. If you see on your screen, there's a broad section of, just excuse me. Sorry, I just interrupted myself. For the sake of my bandwidth or for avoiding any disturbance, I'll keep my video off, but I'll come back online later on. So I'll just speak to the slides for now. Sorry for that. Yeah. Coming back. Yes. So if you look at the screen, there are multiple segments of financial services industry, and within that, investment management is one subsegment. Of course, the knowledge that you gain through CFA program will go across these different blocks or buckets that we are describing. It will be relevant in many different areas, including wealth or in treasury or in banking industry as well. But the core of our focus is what we talk about when we mention investment management. That's on the center of your screen. Managing and investing financial assets, be it yours, your individual assets, your family assets, retail investors' asset, or institutional assets. So that's what CFA program focuses or teaches you as you go through the program sequentially. Moving on. Okay, that was a quick overview, but later on in my slide, I will also share some guidance tools on where you can understand this industry a little bit more in detail. The next question is, what would I do within the industry? There's plethora of roles and opportunity that you can get as an investment professional within the industry, and it goes across, transcend across different verticals of the industry. If you are someone who's very good in analysis, likes analysis, there are different type of analyst role that is available in the industry, and it continues to evolve. But if you are somebody who's like to do strategy or want to get into management, those are the roles also possible. Of course, you will have to move through the ladder for reaching over there. And then there are client relations roles, advisory, and so on and so forth. Just a quick overview of the investment management industry in India. When we talk about India, where you might be getting your first job or already working in the industry, for CFA candidates and charter holders, I will broadly describe the industry segment in India into four buckets. The asset management industry or the mutual fund industry that's present in India. Those are the areas which your knowledge as you learn from the CFA program will be very relevant. Then the wealth management, and it's a fast growing space in wealth management. There are a lot of opportunities for working within the wealth management space or starting on your own also as an entrepreneur. So wealth management is something you should be looking at or evaluating as well as you move along. The third key area are the global investment hubs or the global banks that have a significant presence in India across all key cities in India, right? And they recognize as well CFA program, CFA charter in a big way. So that's another area. And last but not the least, maybe a smaller sub-segment is the PE and VC space in India. So that's the broad four buckets that I'm describing. Towards the end, I'll guide you where you should try to get a little bit more details also within this buckets. What are the other sub-segment or roles that are available as well? Last but not the least, a quick snapshot of the global employers of CFA charter holder. A lot of them have their significant presence in India as well. So a large number of candidates and charter holders work across this global banks, global conglomerates across geographies. So this is a quick snapshot of the investment industry, the roles possible, and the top employers of charter holders across the market. Now, where does CFA Institute play a role in among all this? Just to give you a quick background of CFA Institute's mission itself. So our mission is to lead the investment profession globally by promoting the highest standard of ethics, education, and professional excellence for the ultimate benefit of the society. So those last few words, for the ultimate benefit of the society, is something which we pride on and which we try to reinforce in our engagements, be it through our programs, CFA program or other learning programs, or our work on thought leadership or market engagement with institutions and regulators. The ultimate objective is the society benefits at large, right? If capital market doesn't develop, where will be the roles that you will get into, right? So that's our objective across the 160 plus markets that we work in. We are a global not-for-profit body, and it's the largest association of investment professionals. When I talk about the largest association, the community has now grown to about close to 200,000 members globally. And that's the community we talk about with pride. And that's something, that's a community you should be looking for. If you are trying to get to your journey of the CFA program, you'll be part of that larger community. The community is split across key markets. Of course, the origins of the program were in the Americas, so you'll find a significant number of charter holders based there. But you'll find a lot of candidates coming from the Asia Pacific region, especially China and India these days. So that's a quick background of institute. Coming to the charter itself, right? CFA charter is considered gold standard. So whichever market, whether you are in India or you're going to move around later on in your career through professional responsibility to other market, it's one and the same standard global credential that we talk about across all markets, and it's recognized across all our key markets, if not most markets in the world. It's an unmatched expertise, the rigor and the depth in which the curriculum is built and refreshed every year. I think once you start going through, you'll really enjoy and start uh, identifying, valuing the curriculum once you start using those in the day-to-day role as well, right? I already talked about the community and the wide network that we have globally. It is recognized by many regulators globally as well, and there are waivers offered for certain licensing exams in some markets as well. We work with a number of universities, institutions, regulators to ensure that the recognition of charter continues to grow globally. Now, how do you get the charter? Yeah, just clear 3 levels of the CFA exam, right? As straight as that. But I wish it was that straight. If you look at the screen right now, the circles will probably give you some sense on what the program will cover. In short, it's 10 topical areas we test you on across the 3 levels. The topical, sorry, the topical is at the bottom of your screen where we talk investment tool or the asset classes which we are covering. All of this have varying proportion across the 3 levels. The first level builds your foundation or your knowledge. And then you move on to the second level where we'll go a little bit more in depth, where you'll start analyzing single securities. You'll start evaluating what a particular equity class will look like, or investment in a fixed income will look like. And then finally, level 3 is how you build all of this together, how you build a portfolio of different investment classes or build a wealth plan for your client, be it individual or institutional, right? So that's how we sequentially go about. The coverage varies across the 3 levels for these 10 topic areas. But central to all this central to all of them is ethics. If you can see the central gray circle in your screen, right? Ethics is an important component of our curriculum, and it's something which highly recommend that you should not ignore, right? We have found that in the past, if candidates have taken it lightly, there are chances that they will not clear the exam, because at the exam, they find it really tough to differentiate between a particular scenario when it's put across to them, right? So ethics is key for us in the program, and also how our chart holders and candidates represent us within the industry. Now, if you clear the 3 levels, you still have to complete one more step before you get the charter, and that is having that relevant work experience and having about 2 or 3 references to get your charter, right? Once you gain those experience, be it during your stage as a CFA program candidate or prior to that or after that, you can apply and become a member of CFA Institute. And once approved, you can get the charter and you have the right to use the designation against your name. Just to add a context to it, uh, Jitendra recently was awarded, he was awarded the charter a few months back, but was recognized as part of the society event that CFA society events hold for mini charter. So that's Jitendra, who's teaching you the program day in, day out. He recognizes the value that it brings to it. It's not just passing the 3 levels, but the journey after that is equally important. So I'll encourage everyone not to stop at level 3, go on, become a member with us and continue the journey. Now for the journey itself, we do have a lot of support and resources that we provide, including the learning ecosystem. So once you sign up with us, your curriculum is accessible through a platform called Learning Ecosystem. The complete curriculum, your practice question, mock, etc., right? Everything is there as part of the learning ecosystem. Also, the learning ecosystem is designed to help you prepare as well. It will have a questionnaire to test your existing knowledge, and based on the existing knowledge, it will guide you from now to say the exam date in August or May, whichever you choose, how much time you need to spend on each topical area, and it gets auto updated as and when you might miss some days or you might finish some portions early, right? So it is provides you certain guidance. There's a forum also to discuss your doubts. But this is the learning or the self-study platform that we provide. Beyond that, depending on how the student prepares or how you look at learning, of course, FPA is also there as a learning, as someone who's telling CFA program training in the market. So Jitendra, you can always reach out to him as well for guidance on what they offer. Now, the journey is not easy, right? This is from candidates who have already gone through a program. Although it will look at it might look that there are 3 levels, but average completion time people have taken in the past is about 4 years. It's not a 100-meter dash as I describe it. I would rather describe it as a marathon. You have to time yourself. You have to pace yourself, right? To prepare for each level of the exam, we recommend at least minimum 300 hours of study level. And this study per level will vary depending on your own capability and your own pre-existing knowledge. So 300 hours is not prescriptive. It will vary from candidate to candidates, but this is something we generally have collected as a feedback from candidates, and we understand it's roughly about this many hours. Some might take 270, some might take 350, but prepare yourself to understand the curriculum, keeping this in mind, and how much time you have right now. If you're a student, how much time you have from your day-to-day college, and how much you can dedicate to learning of the program. Or if you're a full-time employee, how many hours in an evening or on a weekends can you spend? So I'll ideally recommend that you space this 300 hours over a period of 6 to 7 months at the bare minimum. So you assimilate the curriculum well, right? And leave the last month or so to practice. The practice is important because you are learning 10 topical areas and you need to answer. It's like giving 10 exams on one day, right? So you need to practice well and ensure that you are ready for that particular exam day which you select. On the exam itself, once you've registered, you need to schedule your exam. You have to pick up an exam window when you will give the exam. On the next screen, I'll show you the exam window options. The exam is available across multiple locations, 400 plus location globally. A number of, I think it's 15 or 20 plus location in India. We are there in all key cities across India, almost in all states, I will say, not all states we have covered yet, but most regions we are there, right? So wherever you are, you should be able to find an exam center in India within a reasonably sized city, I will say. The exam itself is about 4.5 hours. That's divided into 2 sections or 2 sessions with an optional break of about 30 minutes in between. And exam format changes. Level 1 is completely multiple choice questions, 180 split between the 2 sessions. Level 2 is more of an item set questions. You will be given case-based scenarios based on which exam questions will be asked. Again, it's you have to select a choice. The third will be a mix of item sets and a constructive response or essays as we describe it, right? So the third is a mix of 2 different formats. So by the time you reach level 3, preparing for level 3, you have to give your response to a particular question in an essay format, as well as the item set that you had already covered in level 2 on answering questions based on a particular case. I mentioned to you about the number of cities that we cover. So we have exam centers across all markets. It's a computer-based testing. You will have to go to a exam venue that CFA Institute has identified with its partners. And you can give the exam. If you see India also, there are multiple locations already covered right now in India. So if in the western part of India, we have exams in Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, and Surat as well, right? Surat is where we are starting off as well soon. Coming to the exam schedule. Now, you have 4 windows in a year. That's Feb, May, August, and November. And within these 4 windows or 4 months, there will be a certain period, like a week or so for level 1 exam and a few more days for level 2, level 3. Level 1 is available across all the 4 windows. Level 2 is across 3 windows and level 3 is just across 2 windows. So level 2 in 2024, you will get level 2 in May, August, and November. Level 3 is available in Feb and August. So just 2 windows. How do you go about this now? So suppose you're a candidate for February 24, level 1 candidate for February 24, and you clear the exam. You have 6 months to give the next exam. You won't be able to take the next immediate exam period, that's May 2024. You have to identify if level 2 is available in August 24. And the answer is yes, it's available. So that's the earliest you can pick up. You can register for an August 2024 level 2 exam if you've cleared level 1 in Feb. And suppose you're a candidate, say you've taken the exam in November 2023. You just given an exam level 1 right now. You cleared level 2, you can take in May 2024. So 6 months between your two exams is what CFA Institute follows. Now, when you're giving your exam or registering your exam, sorry, when you're registering exam, there are certain deadlines you need to keep in mind. One is we open up exam windows 9 months in advance. And after that, we will have an early registration deadline and a standard or a final registration deadline. So keep in mind these dates very well. And even after you register, do remember that you need to still schedule your exam. You have to identify an exam when you will give the exam. You have to select your slot. So registration and scheduling are two-step process. Please do that within the deadlines we state on our website, because there's no exception that we allow if you miss those deadlines. Coming to cost. So CFA program has one standard fee globally. When you're entering the program for the first time as a very new candidate, you have to pay as a one-time enrollment fee of $350. And then for each level, you either pay as an early registration or a standard registration fee. So suppose you have never taken the CFA exam and it's the first time you're coming in, you will end up paying either $350 plus $940 or $350 plus $1,250 based on the window and the registration timeline that you select. In India, you'll have to pay 18% additional tax as per the government requirements as well. So add on that to the cost as well. Once you've given the exam once, if you cleared level 1 and moving on to level 2, or for any reasons you did not clear level 1 and you're coming back to give your level 1 again, you don't have to pay the $350 again. You only pay either $940 or $1,250. We understand the program fees is not a small amount by any manner. In Indian currency, in INR, it can run up to a lakh or more, and with all other costs included, be it your training or getting a calculator and so on and so forth, the program journey is going to be a significant investment of your money as well. I talked about time, that's 300 hours, effort that's required, how do you plan the program, prepare, etc., and money. This is three things I always talk to candidates before you decide your journey: time, effort, and money. So take a conscious call when you're joining the CFA program. Is this the industry and the role you are interested or trying to go through building a career, right? And then only commit to the program. If you're not clear, you can start learning at, say, training institutes like FPA and understand the program and better take guidance from them and then commit to it, right? We do have certain readiness assessment on our website, which you can go through. Also, there are other resources also which will guide you. Scholarship, as you can see on your screen, right? We do offer scholarship. A certain limited amount of scholarship is offered globally. We just closed an exam scholarship window right now. We will be announcing the results soon for that. There are two types of scholarship. There are more than two rather, but for candidates who might have joined us today, these are two you should be knowing about. One is access scholarship or need-based, as I describe it. So if you do not have the financial wherewithals at all to pursue the program, but are very keen for pursuing it, you can apply for the Access Scholarship. Now, Access Scholarship is you can do that through an online application. There are two windows which we offer. Generally, the current window is closed, so we will be announcing the results of Access Scholarship Award is in December. We'll open up one more window in 2024 for anyone still wanting to pursue it. And then there are role-based scholarship, essentially a women's scholarship we offer as well in all markets. So for women candidates who are interested in pursuing the program, excuse me, you can apply for the women's scholarship as well. If awarded, the one-time enrollment fee gets waived off and your registration fee is either $300 for Access Scholarship or $400 for a women's scholarship. That's the only fee you'll have to pay, but at each level you can apply for scholarship. If you think you cannot afford the program fee at all. Now, there's only a limited amount of scholarship that CFA Institute extends globally. So we understand the challenge and concern. So for others, if you still feel that fee is a burden, you cannot pay it in one go, we do have an EMI or a flexible payment program available for candidates in India. So we did tie up with an NBFC Advance in India who help facilitate CFA program candidates to pay the registration fee, and you can pay back advance through equal installments with in 6 to 24 months, depending on your comfort level. So this is an option you can explore as well if you are keen on it. All right. I've covered most of the key aspects. Now, one more key aspect I want to touch upon before I open up to for everyone. The changes to this program, CFA program for 2024. Now, all of you who are joined us, if you're not a registered candidate or a registered candidate for 2024 exam window, there are certain changes you will see in the program front. Now, we brought about a lot of change, some of these changes or most of these changes based on feedback we keep getting from the industry. So we talk to institutions, we try to understand what are the skill sets and competencies candidates and charter holders bring to organizations and what can be changed or improved on that. So there are certain relaxation or changes we have brought about, if you can see on the screen, and I'll talk about some of this a little bit more in detail. Eligibility rules, practical skill models, focused curriculum, pathways, so on and so forth. Let me touch upon the first one, the eligibility change. Now, when can you register for CFA program level 1 for the first time? The new criteria states that you can give the exam if you are 2 years away from completing your undergrad degree. Now, what that means is, suppose you are pursuing a commerce program, BCom, or a BBA, that's a 3-year program, undergrad program. You can give level 1 in your second year. For engineering student who have 4-year program, they can give level 1 in their third year, which falls 2 years within their undergrad degree. If you cleared level 1 in the second year or third year, respective to which course you are pursuing, you can give level 2 in the final year of your undergrad. So that's the change we have brought about on eligibility. Level 3 has to be given once you are a graduate. So once you have completed your undergrad program, it's then only you can go and give the level 3 exam. But do keep in mind, if somebody who's joined us today is still a student or it's just started as a commerce or science student and interested to explore, the journey is not too far for you. Then we have brought in certain changes on the curriculum. Now, every year, CFA Institute changes the curriculum to about 10 to 15% of the portion. We try to bring in new concepts which are relevant to the industry, new topics, new themes. But at the same time, we do also remove certain contents which might not be critical or important at this point of time. So it's part of a refresh, but this year we've taken a step, even one more additional step. We've removed certain basic programs, basic topics or volumes like quant methods, economics, and FSA, financial statement analysis, out of the actual testable curriculum. We have put them into a pre-read. So they will anything that is in the pre-read will not be tested in the exam. But these are critical for the candidates to know for learning the rest of the curriculum. So this is your foundation. Without this, I think you lose the linkage if you directly jump onto a curriculum. So please ensure that before you join or start learning, you go through the prerequisite reading across all that 3 topics which we have mentioned. It's available to all of you once you register. So go through those details and then pursue the actual main testable portion of the curriculum. The next change we have brought about is practical skill modules. Now, along with theory, we want you to start applying this theory to practical scenarios as well. So we have brought in some practical skills or practical modules at each level. What it means is at level 1, you have got 2 topics, financial modeling and Python programming fundamentals. You can opt for one or both. This will not be tested in the exam. These are about 10 to 15 hours of case-based studies, videos, and learnings available separately. But it's available right away when you register for the level, any of the level for 2024 exam onwards. You have to complete this practical skill model. There's no exam attached to it. You need to complete it in order to get your actual exam result. You can give it at any point of time after you registered for the exam till the date you get your exam results. So keep this in mind. This is a new module. The requirement is that you should be completing it. At level 2, there are additional module on analysis skill and furthermore deep dive into Python, data science, and AI. For all candidates who will start their journey right now, just an update at level 3 in 2025, we will be adding additional specialized pathways. Right now, the track is focused on portfolio management, but you can select your specialization on private markets, private wealth as well. But this is available another 2 years down the line in 2025. All right. Then coming to I'm almost to the end of my presentation. Last couple of slides before possibly I jump into the interesting quiz part as well. So we do have a lot of career related resources. I might have breezed through the first part of my slides talking about industries and careers, but I will encourage each one of you, if you have a phone in hand, or make sure that you have your phone in hand now, because I think my talking will stop in some time and you will be going through your mobile phone, scanning codes and answering questions. So we have a career guide. This is based on a number of career webinars CFA Society India had conducted. So we have pulled out insights from those webinars and compiled into a career guide. This is available on CFA Institute as well as CFA Society India's website. You can scan the QR code, which is there on your screen right now, and download the career guide. It talks about different industry job roles, how practitioners have gone about building their careers, where do you start, what's the starting step, what's the compensation, or what's the career ladders, and so on and so forth. So it goes in quite a bit more in detail for you to understand which are the careers possible for India. On our website and CF Institute website also, we describe quite a few roles a little bit more in detail for some insights. So do spend time on CF Institute website for the understanding careers and roles. The other survey that we had done recently was on compensation, and this is something a lot of candidates ask on us from time to time. So we asked a lot of candidates and charter holders on the compensation and the impact of CFA program on their careers and journey. So this is report is also the insights from this report is available on our website. Please feel free to access this and download. We will try and share the links to this through FPA or through the chat box also later on, so that you can get access to it if you miss out right now. All right, that's quite a bit from my end in the short 30 minutes I wanted to run through. CF Institute is present across all social media. We continue to promote or share a lot of information. So do follow us on any of the handles that you might be available or present. Let me come to the quiz part now. This is something we've doing it for the first time, to be honest, and I hope we get reasonable response today. So keep your mobile phones handy. I'll just quickly explain the rules on what we are doing today in the next 10 minutes or so, and then I'll jump into Q&A. So we have about 10 questions, nothing technical. I'm not going to ask you anything from the curriculum, so that any candidate doesn't get an advantage when he's answering. No negative marks, 20 seconds per questions. You just have to quickly answer. I'll show you a QR code which you can scan, and we'll get into the quiz mode right now. And for a lucky winner, we will have a surprise towards the end, a merchandise which we will send across to them. So when you're participating in the quiz, if you're participating, please do share us your name and email ID correctly so that we can contact you later if you have won the quiz. All right, are you ready? So keep your mobile phone ready. Let me pull up the QR code to access the quiz. For those who do not have a scanner or for some reason, you can always go to a browser and join a website called slido.com, and over there enter the numerical you can see on your screen 2333072. For others, just scan the QR code, and let's see how many people are interested to participate in the quiz with me today. I'll give a few minutes for people to log in over here. I do have 100 people on the call today. That's thanks everyone for joining on this evening, Friday evening. So I hope to see quite a few of you joining in. Right. Let's give everyone a few more minutes. This will be very straightforward, guys. I promise you I'll not ask you the questions from the CFA exam, although you might want me to ask, but nothing from there. Keep it as simple as possible. Let me check if you're listening to me for the last 30 minutes or so. So there might be questions from the slide deck as well. And suppose if there's a tie, if quite a few of you get it right, say 10 out of 10, we'll look at who answers it at the fastest time. So that will decide the winner as well. We have about 9 or 10 more people trying to join. So I'll just give them a few seconds to complete their joining. All right. I think we have got a good audience. Last 2 or 3 people's about, oh, okay. We still have people trying to log in. Quick, fast, guys. I think I'll have to give you a countdown before I move on to the other screen. Jitendra, you are not participating, hopefully. I'll have to disqualify your results. All right, all right. Okay. I think I'm ready to go ahead. As for the interest of everyone who's joined in, let's start. Okay. We'll move on to our first screen. I think all of you should be seeing this question on your screen right now. How many MCQs are there in level 1? You have 20 seconds. The countdown is moving. You have 3 options. Let's see how many of you get it right. We've got almost everyone. Oh, that's nice. Let's see if you got it right. Almost 180 of 180, 89% have responded on that. Let's see if majority of you are right. And yes, that's the correct answer. There is 180 questions at level 1 MCQ divided across 2 sessions as I had described. So thank you for listening to my session, or um, you've done your background study well. Next one. Okay, this is around deadline. So if you are possibly giving a May 24, you have seen that somewhere on the screen which I was presenting, what was the final deadline for May 24 exam? Go on, take a guess. There's no negative marking, so please go and answer. Let's see. A lot of you have reverted 6th February, and then equal number I've mentioned Jan and February. So the correct answer is yes. Again, I'll go with the majority. 6th February is the correct answer. Third one, what's the early registration fee to register for the level 1 CFA exam? Is it $350? Is it $950 or $940 early registration fee? A lot of you are quick. Yes, I think this is the fastest finger first will win this. Nice, nice. So that's your time ends. Let me see what everyone has responded. Okay, I think a lot of you have responded around 350, 950, and 940. Remember, the question was an early registration fee, and the answer is 940. I think probably you will understand why or where you went wrong. What is the one-time enrollment fee for CFA program? For anyone who's missing out on any question, getting it wrong, there are still more questions to go through. So please continue playing. What is the one-time enrollment fee? Is it 350, 450, or 500? Yeah, I think this should be straightforward after the previous question. Yes, I guessed it right. 97% of you got it right. Yeah, that's correct. Fifth question. What is the name of the EMI partner for the flexible payment option that is available for CFA exam in India? You have 3 options on your screen: Edu Free, Edu Once, Edu EMI. And yes, the answers are coming in quick and fast. Let me see how many of you would have got it right. So quite a few, of more than half of you have said Edu Once. And yes, half of you were listening to me. Thank you. That's the right answer. what is the new topic that is introduced in practical skill module for level 1? Is it MongoDB? Is it Hadoop or Python programming fundamentals? See, I'm asking you simple questions. Please, let's get this right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And most of you have responded it as, I think, yeah, I thought so. Python programming. Yep. How many hours of relevant work experience is required to become a CFA charter holder? Is it 300 hours, 3,000 hours, or 4,000 hours? Yes, just think through how many hours of relevant work experience is required. 59, 60 of you responding. 4,000 hours, that's 68% of you have mentioned, and you are right. It's 4,000 hours. That's correct. 4,000 hours in a 3-year period is what we ask for when you apply for regular membership to get your charter. The 8th question, approximately how many charter holders members are there in the Asia Pacific region? Is it about 20,000, about 40,000, about 100,000? How many of them are in the Asia Pacific region? Power of observation. I've moved through the slides pretty quickly. Let's see if you heard me right. 20,000. Half of you said 40,000, and that's the correct answer. All right. 9th question. Which of the following is not a certification program offered by CFA Institute? So this is out of syllabus, but I wanted to test you if you check on what CFA Institute does. Do we offer investment? Which of this is not offered by us? Investment foundations, data science, or a certificate in wealth management? Okay, a lot of you have mentioned data science for investment professionals. And the answer is, surprise, surprise. Yes, it's the least one which all of you have answered. So CFA Institute has come up with a lot of certification programs recently. Investment foundations and data science for investment professional is one of those programs which CFA Institute has brought about. We do not have a certificate in wealth management. So, yeah, I mean, that was a tricky one. Probably the last one is the most trickiest if you have, because it's not part of my slide deck, but let me test if you heard this anywhere. The first ever CFA exam was administered in which year? Was it 1963, 1947, or 1972? Let's see. Oh, BAC, it should be ABC, but yeah. Okay. The time is up. 35 said 1963. Half of you have said 1972. Before I show you the answer, let me just give you a background or a context. 1947 was when the genesis of the organization CFA Institute was put in place. It's as old as when we got our independence in India, right? So the genesis of the organization was 1947. The first exam was conducted in 1963. This this was when we first put the CFA exam in place, and it's been 60 years since then that we have been running the exam, and it has continued to evolve over the years. Now, let's see for the final results who have got the most right or fastest right. Let me see who the winners are as part of this small game that we run. So Harshad, you got 9 out of 10 on the fastest time, 1 minute 14 seconds, really fast. I don't have a last name. Probably Harshad, if you have entered your email ID right, we will reach out to you via FPA. Harshad, Krish, Agarwal, Tushar, Riya, Ayush, all of you, congratulations for doing this, playing this with us. But Arshad will reach out to you for your small surprise gift from us. So reach out to FPA. We will guide you on that. But thank you, everyone. I will now open the floor for Q&A. And when I take in Q&A, while I open up my window also, anyone who had missed the career guide logo or the career guide QR code earlier, you can always scan it right now as we get into the interaction. Over to you, Jitendra. I hope this was useful and helpful, the time we spent.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm very sure the participants have enjoyed knowing more in depth about the CFA. So
Thanks a
people
lot.
know about CFA, but in depth actual understanding is what you actually help them. And specifically, I'm sure all the participants have enjoyed the quiz, and congratulations, Harshad, and everyone for those who have actually joined. So guys, definitely CFA is definitely, I have done CFA. It's not easy, I would be very honest, but it's completely rewarding. The journey that you go through it, the curriculum, the kind of practical knowledge that you get, and even after you become a, let's say, level 3 pass, one important thing, do not think CFA as a passing exam. The real joy of CFA starts when you take the membership, because I can see the kind of benefits, networking opportunities, the kind of other opportunities that you get when you become a CFA. So definitely, I can say, when I did my CFA, and even today when I call myself as a CFA, definitely there is a big pride. There is definitely one benefit when I look back. Yes, the journey was not easy, but I definitely enjoyed it. And definitely special thanks to the entire CFA Institute for bringing a global certification that you can do it from India itself. Otherwise, I think at least for me, it would not been possible to go to US and get these kind of education. So guys, we are very much open to the Q&A. I'm sure a lot of you will have a lot of questions. So please use the Q&A tab. In the Zoom, you will see a Q&A tab. I request everyone to please post your questions. So sir, I will be taking the questions and then you can help them.
Sure.
What other degrees can we pursue alongside or maybe after CFA? Is MBA one of them?
Okay. All right. Let me answer that in a different way. See, CFA charter or CFA is not a degree. It's a professional qualification. It's a credential as we describe it, right? Your degree will be what you get after you complete, say, an undergrad or a postgrad programs, and you get it from the relevant college or university. A credential is a little different. It's a professional qualification or credential as we describe. You cannot equate it to a degree or any other program. So that's one differentiation. Now, what else can you pursue along with it? Now, it's all depends on what's your area of interest, where you want to do mastery, right? There are a number of options available. CFA on its own, I think if you are interested in to get the financial analysis, investment management, on its own, CFA is pretty robust and sufficient. But beyond that, I mean, I will always encourage you pick up additional learning along with it, if not any other qualification. Learn uh, I mean, we are covering Python and machine learning, right, in our curriculum as well. Maybe go a little bit more in detail on those topics. Get into some kind of habit of writing. So those are the additional skill sets or competencies that rather I will say, Jitendra, that candidates should pick up in addition to just pursuing the CFA program. And one more thing I'll just stress upon is your soft skills. Your soft skills, your ability to communicate your knowledge, your ability to write, your ability to present, all this matter when it comes to a real world work experience, right? So don't ignore. If you're not good at that, make it a habit of inculcating some of those in your routines as well. Jitendra?
Yes, thank you. So I have got one question that specifically, let's say once you pass the level 3 to get the charter, you need 4,000 hours of experience. What kind of the job the candidate should be looking and when?
What kind of job? So anything to do with investment, right? Managing money. If you're doing research on it, if you're investing any money on behalf of your client or individual or institutional, or if you are managing somebody who's doing that bit of work, those are called as relevant. So I've described you the various roles which you saw in the start of the slide deck, right? Different roles which make an impact on investment decision making are considered as relevant. Now, when do you get that or when do you do that? It can be done at any point of time during your professional career, before you become a CFA candidate, after, or during the course. So all experience, you can add it together across multiple organizations if that's the case as well. I hope that answers the query, Jitendra.
Yes. So I think the experience before, during, and even after the CFA, anything related to the finance and investment management
Correct.
is considered. So I've got one question from Anand. The pass rate of the exam is around 40%, which is low and highlights the difficulty of the exam. Can you give any reason and also advice or give suggestion to maximize the chances to clear the exam and earn the credentials?
Great question, Anand, and thank you for asking that. Uh, yeah, I mean, Jitendra has stressed on it. I've mentioned that it's not an easy exam. If you take it lightly, the chances of clearing the exam will considerably fall down, right? We advise certain strategy. If you go onto a website, also we've given you some study tips or guidance on how do you go about it. It's 10 topical areas. So when you're preparing, don't give yourself a month or 2 months just to prepare and give the exam. Time yourself, right? We open up any exam window 9 months in advance to give you that time. So put those 300, 350 hours well in advance. Prepare well, go through the curriculum, understand the concepts well. Don't rush through it, right? Revision revision is what is required, and leave that last month or so for revision and answering questions. As much as practice questions or mock exams you can write, that will prepare you for the actual exam day, right? And if you're confident, if you're doing that very well, I mean, rest assured on the exam day you will be 100% mentally ready to go through those 4.5 hours or 180 questions. Right, Jitendra, anything from your end on the study tips?
So a lot of students find shortcut to pass. If your objective is just passing exam, I think CFA is not meant for you. I will be
Absolutely.
honest in that case.
Yep.
You have to start well in advance, at least 8-9 months being the bare minimum, and you have to be serious from day one. And
See, I'll just add one point to this, and this is from interaction with the industry, right? If you are just studying from the point of answering the exam, you have found out during an interview, right? When you go to an interview and the interviewer asks you questions, a lot of you don't remember those knowledge or what you're going through the program because you just focus from the exam. But if you're preparing from learning the content and the curriculum, that will go in a long way, not just answering interview, but in your day-to-day professional life as well. It will help you a lot. So prepare from that mindset, I'll say.
thank you so much. I will take a couple of more questions. Average salary that we can look after level one. I think this is one common questions that candidates look. How much is the placement? What is the kind of salaries we can get?
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong in asking that, I'll say, Jitendra. I mean, it's absolutely right. We pursue anything, be it any learning, we will look at pay, at, I mean, it will be return to your investment in a way, right? Uh, as well as a career, long-term career. I mean, I'll come to the pay part, but for my advice, I mean, pay will differ. Sorry, pay will differ not just because you pass CFA level one, you'll get X amount. You pass level two, you'll get Y amount. It's not like that. The pay will differ on a multiple factors. Your education background, your experience, right? And if you're somebody who's experienced and have given level one, you'll be, of course, at a higher pay because you're going into a job which will be 3-4 years experience required. But if you're starting as a fresher, your pay will be for a fresher. CFA level one will help you get a foot in the door, right? Now, the pay differs also whether you're working in the domestic industry or the global industry, right? If you're working for the local asset management versus a global bank or a global multinational, the pay differs as well. So it can be anywhere between say 4 lakh to 8 lakh, 10 lakh as well when you're starting off. There are multiple criteria. Remember, you should not just look at from the, I mean, I've heard this question a number of times. If I clear level one, what will be my salary? If I get a charter, what will be my salary? It's not just that. It's a multiple of different factors that will go in. All this are the keys that will open up your next job or a next career that you're looking into. Pay will come in as and when you excel in your role then. But to the question, I mean, we have done some survey, right? We have done an impact assessment survey in India. We have done a global compensation survey as well. So a lot of this data we've tried to capture and we have put it on our website as well. So do take time to explore those as well. Back to you, Jitendra.
Thank you, sir. So I have got another question from Anwar. After completing my CFA, is it recommended to move to another country to practice my profession, or can I practice in India as well?
I'll say not only after completing your CFA, I mean, during your CFA, right? Why do you want to move to another country? Your objective should be clear, right? There is enough and more opportunity for candidates and members in India. I mean, I've been with the organization for 7 years now. I've seen the change, continuous change that is happening. more and more organizations are recognizing, they are mentioning CFA level 1, level 2 pass in their job role. It might not be to a mass scale right now. You might not see it across all job requirements, but that change is definitely happening. Of course, some of the matured markets like the US, Europe, where the program was established much earlier, the penetration is much more over there, right? But India is also growing up by leaps and bounds, I will say on that, right? So whether you move to a different market and all, I think it's all an individual call. But CFA is as relevant in India, if not in the US or other markets.
So I have another question, interesting question related to the previous one. How can I find a job in other countries immediately after CFA?
Hmm. It's interesting, right? No, like, okay, you always stump me, candidates. I mean, don't wait for completing all three levels and finding a job. CFA, I think once you are out of your graduation, start somewhere and continue your CFA journey along with it. How can you get a job in another country? I mean, it's not easy if you have to move markets, if you're migrating, like many people migrate to the North America markets these days, right? You have to go there and start hunting for a job. If you work for global banks in India, right? A lot of this Deloitte's, BlackRock's, Goldman's, etc. Once you start working, there are opportunities within those organizations as well to move across markets that come up, move across roles, move across markets. So take some of those opportunities to move across market. If you know friends working in those other markets, reach out to them. So career, getting the first break will not be so straightforward if you're just going to switch from India to elsewhere. So you'll need to compete with those who are already there in that market. But down the line, yes, I think we have a good community of Indian professionals who have migrated, use CFA at different stages of their career for this migration as well. We have a global career center. Sorry, just one last point. We do have a global career center. It's careers.cfainstitute.org. So we do get a lot of job requirements from institution which are posted over there. So you can always explore that as well. Yep.
So another question, sir. I will take couple of two more questions. So Bikram says, how to understand which role is good for me?
A very good question, Bikram. Very interesting question. How do you understand which role is good for you? And sometimes you will not find the answer right away, right? Are you somebody who enjoys doing some? Are you good in maths? Are you good in analysis? Are you somebody who has those con skills? If you are somebody like that, I mean, you must be suited to get into an analytical role, right? All the analysis role I talked about in one of the earlier slide, equity analysis, fixed income analysis, credit analysis, ESG analysis, this. Those are the roles we can look at. But if you are somebody who's more outgoing, client, who are more comfortable interacting with individual people, a client-facing role might suit you better, right? So you can look at some of those roles as well, right? But all of this, I think there are a lot of this career guidance provided by different individuals. We do have a lot of this available on our website as well. So a message to all candidates: if you go onto our website, cfinstitute.org, there's a section on careers as well, membership careers, where we do have a lot of career related resources and guidance that we have put up over there. Use that. It's available free of cost for all active candidates. That will provide you some of the answers you are asking me today, and you can drill a little bit more deeper into that.
Okay. The last questions I will take from Vedant. Do PE funds or those working for VC have some kind of biases for CFA when they are hiring compared to other finance degree?
I'll not say bias. They will look at the competency they want for a specific job role, right? If a P or a VC is hiring, they will look for experience as well, right? So do you have those experience and competency coming? CFA gives you the technical knowledge, and that is one part of the role that they will look at. But there are other skill sets that they want for that role. So CFA charter holders will get one leg up if they know the technical knowledge well. But you have to look at the other competencies that they are asking for. Career Guide has some examples of individuals who are working in this space. So look into the career guide and see what they have to share as well on what's required to get into that space.
Wonderful. I think, thank you so much, Sachin sir. Thank you so much, Vivan sir,
Uh,
I think, for
My
taking your
pleasure.
valuable time. I'm really sure a lot of participants would have definitely enjoyed it, and they want to know more about the investment industry. And I'm sure in the last 1 hour they have got much better clarity to understand about the CFA program and how they can take the career forward. So I'm sure, guys, you would have a lot of other questions as well. Definitely you can reach out to us at FPA EduTech. You can reach out to me also in case if you want to attend any of the demonstration before actually starting your CFA journey. Feel free to reach out to us. Would be happy to help you. uh, CFA is definitely one of the best course that you can pursue. Specifically, I have a lot of biases towards CFA because I can see a lot of transformation has happened when I actually become the level 2 pass, not even completing the entire CFA. As soon as I passed level 2, I got the opportunity to work with a leading investment management firm, and I can see industry recognize you. So special thanks to not just Sachin sir, Vivan sir, the entire CFA Institute for actually transforming the life of a lot of finance professionals, a lot of young students. Thank you so much again for taking your time. Thanks a lot, everyone. Would be happy to connect with you after the webinar to clear up your doubts. Anything, Sachin sir, you want to add?
No, I mean, thanks a lot, Jitendra, for providing this opportunity to share our bits with the candidates. So we wish you all the best in your journey. Remember, this is not a small race; it's a marathon. So pace out yourself well. Reach out to FPA is there. Reach out to CFA Institute if you have specific queries. Get your doubts clarified. But take an informed call. And last but not least, yeah, all the best and look forward to more such interactions, Jitendra. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. We'll be sharing the recording as well. Thank you. Have a great day. I will be ending this webinar now. All the best, everyone.